If I put these damn old glasses on, I do let Santa Claus in.
There you go.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Dirty Duck Coffee. If your coffee sucks, it's not the duck. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
I nailed that one.
Yeah, you done such a great job. How's the Bachelor life?
It's good.
You enjoy watching what you wanted on TV yesterday?
Didn't even turn it on.
You didn't watch TV yesterday? I thought you told me you started watching something.
I was editing. I turn on something when I'm editing podcasts. I don't ever watch it. So,
okay.
Like, whenever I said Chimp Empire was really good, I was editing podcasts. And
Chimp Empire was not very good.
Well, the first episode kind of grabbed your attention.
A bunch of monkeys picking fleas off each other? Nah, not for me. There's other shit to this. With us today, from On the Deck Outfitters in Brinkley, Arkansas, Stacey Coker. He looks like Santa Claus, son. You do too, boy.
I get this shit all the time.
Have you ran into the woman out there? You know, there's a group of women that have a thing for Santa Clauses. Have you ever had a woman want to just come up and have sex with you because you look like Santa?
Just
one.
That's a good, safe answer right there. Very good answer.
So, do you keep the? Obviously, you keep the beard year round. Like, when did this start growing out?
Man, about 5 years ago. It started growing out, and I just hung with it. It stays pretty cool in the summertime, but it's kind of, people recognize me by it, so I just keep it.
It's not hot?
No, not really.
You know what's weird is whenever I grow my beard out and then I shave it, I actually feel like I sweat more, and I actually feel like it's hotter because I think the sun's hitting your skin.
Yeah. Sun hits you. It's a good sunblock. You know, when I'm fishing, I don't have to, can't wear one of them masks anyway. Them guys pull up, but it works for that. And, it keeps the wind off my face in the wintertime too.
Now, Zach Rutledge, you have been proclaimed as one of the best speck killers that's out there. He said you were there the day that the specklebelly showed up in Arkansas for the first time.
That's a bit of a stretch, man, but I appreciate the compliment from him. I do like killing specks. I think about killing specks every damn day.
Did y'all not have specks there 50 years ago?
No.
So there is a real truth that they did show up one day. What year did that happen?
I don't know what year it happened. I've talked to some older guys around there. They would see them. They would see a few specks around there, but they wouldn't hunt them because, didn't nobody around there goose hunt.
Everybody was shooting
Nobody
ducks.
goose hunting. They're just shooting ducks, shooting mallard ducks. They wasn't shooting any other ducks but mallard ducks. And at talking in the 80s, early 90s, the thing wasn't, did I get a limit this morning? It's who got their limit first this morning.
Right.
And they just drove by and seen the geese out there and just didn't really mess with them. But thank God I didn't mess with them because I really like them.
Well, what's crazy about this is I've been doing this a long time. And when I first got in the business, there wasn't a lot of outfitters. There was places that had some outfitters. Stuttgart is one of them. South Texas is where all the goose hunting outfitters were in Texas. There was nobody in the panhandle. I wasn't the first one to hunt here. I was about the 18th guy, but I was the only one that made it to season 2 or 3 probably. But there wasn't an outfitter in Lubbock. Terrell hunted up at Amarillo and another guy hunted up at Amarillo, and that was it. In West Texas, there was 2 outfitters around Amarillo, nobody in Lubbock, and then we were the first full-time one here in Knox Haskell. But what I was getting at was, and I got off tangent there, was We didn't have a lot of speckle bellies then. Now we're covered up with specks. It was all small Canadas. The small Canadas that are at Amarillo now and Fort Cobb were here. And then we had a drought, and that kind of moved some birds around. But we didn't have the specks. Y'all didn't have the specks in. There's somebody somewhere that had a shitload of specks that don't have specks anymore. They have to.
Louisiana.
Is that where all the specks that are in Arkansas and West Texas, you think most of them are the Louisiana birds?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they are. I think their birds stop in winter with us, or they go to you guys. They get pushed west, I think. But those guys used to have them thick, real thick.
Yeah, and the rumor mill is our limits are going to move to 5 specks per day per person starting in 2024.
Wow.
We're not doing 5. I'm telling you right now, if you're listening to this and that does happen, we're going to be at 3 birds. We're going to impose a 3-bird limit on ourselves. I think 5 birds is absolutely stupid.
I'm 100% with you on 3 birds.
Yep.
We went 3 birds last year, and man, that's a lot of killing.
Yeah, that's 12 guys, 36 specks is a great shoot.
Yeah, it's a great shoot.
You know,
I mean, if you got 8 guys if you put 8 guys in a blind, that's 24 specks and however many daggum snows you can kill.
Well, see, we don't have many snows. We'll still kill some Canadas. And we'll kill some ducks, but we're going to be on a 3-bird. We're going to 3-bird speck limit, and I'll have that guy that'll bitch and gripe, and but that's the way it's going to be. We're doing a 3-bird limit, and we're sticking to it.
Right,
and
I don't blame you. I would do that too. It's easier. I mean, you can't stay out there all day long to kill 5 birds. Sometimes you're going to have to stay out there a long time. As many birds as you got and we got, there's going to be a time that they go to water. There's going to be a time they go to feed, and there's going to be a downtime. You're not just going to have birds flying. So I don't blame you.
We're just
you can't. Death.
But even the good days that we're done by 8 o'clock or 7:45 in the morning, we're still stopping at 3 birds, even though we could shoot 5 easy. We're just not doing it. It's too hard on the resources. Those birds. It's kind of like the 8-bird limit that they have in Oklahoma. Is Kansas at 8 birds also?
No.
Are they at 6?
I think they're 5 or 6.
You know, that 8 birds is fucking ridiculous.
What about the 10 in California?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna be able to get rid of 10 anything in California, then you start with Democrats.
They're getting rid of them. They're all coming to Austin.
Yeah, that's actually they said the majority of the people coming that have moved to Texas are Republican voters. Has not changed the demographics much on the voting. I want to ask you a question real quick because I got into this conversation yesterday. A guy kind of called me out too. Swan Lake Refuge is doing away with all waterfowl hunting or duck hunting. No duck hunting starting this year. They just don't have the manpower for it. I think our federal government is showing us the first days of them doing away with hunting on federal land. And the people that don't give a shit are the big game hunters, and they're next. It's just going to be a matter of time in Colorado and all them places on that federal land. They're going to say, no, you're not shooting elk or bear or mule deer here anymore.
You're right. I'm 100% with you. I mean, it's the days of, you know what, the only thing the good old boy is good for is fighting damn wars for the Democrats.
That's exactly right.
That's the guys. Those are the guys, your hunters, your Republicans, your working guys. Those are the darn guys that defend the country, that go to fight the wars. And, that's all we're good for.
I would agree 100%, and we let a bunch of blue bloods that ain't never done shit in their fucking life dictate our kids' futures every single day, and we've got to do something about that.
That's like Ukraine, man. Ain't my monkey, ain't my circus. What are we doing in Ukraine?
Covering up for the Biden and the deep state and all the money that they've laundered over the years and still laundering. It's all it is. We didn't give two shits what Putin did in Afghanistan. But now we care all of a sudden about Ukraine. It's because we're covering up for all the bio labs, child sex trafficking, money, and all the crooked shit that's there. And everybody knows it except for the motherfuckers that watch The View.
That's about right. That's about right.
I mean, how many people do you run into on your everyday travels that give two shits about Ukraine? I don't.
No. None of the people I know.
They know what's going on over there. It's money laundering. And when you see both sides going for you, you really know it's crooked.
Well, really, most people really don't understand what's going on over there. They see parts of the news and they think, well, dadgummit, Russia's invading them poor folks over there. Them poor folks in Ukraine, they're as corrupt as dadgum Russia.
Is Russia the bad guy here?
Ukraine used to belong to Russia.
Yeah,
anyway,
but is
right?
Russia a bad guy? Because I have a hard time not thinking Russia's not the bad guy here. I don't trust the UN and I don't trust Ukraine.
Jeff, I don't think any of us can get enough information to really make a decent deal about it, idea about it. I don't know. But I know I don't want my son there.
No.
I don't want my kid over there.
My son's got 2 more years in the military, and I'll be so glad when he gets out. Not because I don't want him, I'm not proud of him for what he's done, but I don't trust the administration and what they're going to put him in or other soldiers in too.
Wouldn't trust in a shit house with a muzzle on.
Nope. And it's crazy. When I grew up, I always thought the government was my friend. They're doing what's best for us. As I've getting older, I've become one of them cantankerous old fuckers that thinks that they're, but you know what? Them old men that were against Vietnam and all the shit going on in Vietnam, they were right.
They really were. What?
Yeah. I mean, every proxy war we've ever done has been to benefit someone getting rich. It ain't been nothing betterment for our country or our world, and I'm sure there are some conflicts where it has been good for the world, but it seems to me like it's just a bunch of people on power strokes.
And I work for the government, but I just know in my heart what I do here is helping protect our soldiers. Where I work, my full-time job is we rebuild tanks. We rebuild the Army tanks and other personnel carriers. And I don't do it because I want to attack Ukraine. It's here because I want these guys protected, and everybody else that works here. Everybody here feels pretty much the same way.
How'd you get into that gig?
Let's see. Well, I worked in a steel mill for about 11 or 12 years. So, the Clintons, they shut that down by letting all that foreign steel come in, and I had to hunt a job, and I got working at an airport, and luckily I lucked into this job. I'm in purchasing here, and so I buy parts for tractors and this stuff that maintains this place.
And
so
tanks are part of it.
Yeah, now we rebuild tanks. I don't buy parts for tanks, but this is a facility. It's a storage facility, and we rebuild tanks. And we rebuild tanks for foreign countries that are our allies.
Part of that money machine I was just talking about.
It's the money machine. You're exactly right.
Yeah. Our great congressman we had here, Mac, I'm a fuck up Thornberry from Clarendon, Texas, that was a Texan that he ran on term limits, and he served about 16 years after that. Anyways, he's left the great state of Texas, and we're thankful for that. And he lives in Maryland now, and he works for a defense contractor. So he's getting uber wealthy by being involved with companies like defense contractors. There's a lot of money in that stuff. And it provides a lot of jobs, and that is a good thing. But that's all it's good for, because all they're doing is starting wars to pay the bills.
Well, it's like where I work here in North Alabama. We're one of the largest employers. Where I work is like a city inside here.
Yeah.
There's 3 fire departments, there's restaurants, there's gyms, everything inside this place. There's 6,000 people working here at any time.
Wow.
But it's a huge employer.
What did y'all shut down on COVID, or were y'all essential workers?
Some of us were essential workers. Non-essential worked at home with computers, but we didn't let up. We stayed at it. I came in.
I saw where the people at Amazon, was it Amazon that had to go back to work that were mad? I think it was Amazon people. Bezos told his people to get their ass back in the office. They were going to lose their jobs. There wasn't no more working at home. And shit, I don't blame him.
I don't either. I mean, I know guys that one of my buddies is a dentist, I mean, hell, everybody kept wanting, all of his employees kept wanting to stay home and draw a damn check. And he finally told him, he called him and said, look, you're fixing to not have a job because I'm fixing to not have a job because you won't come to work. You know, hell, we're going to have to mask up and do what we got to do. Just suck it up and go, man.
It's hard to pull somebody's fucking teeth from the living room.
You daggum, by God, you hurting bad enough. You want a dentist.
Yeah. Yeah. Most people, when you go to a fucking dentist, it ain't a deal of get me in next month. It's like today.
Now.
Yeah. When your teeth and ears are the worst, them fuckers are hurting. You're fucked big time. Time to get them fixed.
I've called him up, you know, tears in my eyes. Man, I got to get over and pull this thing out and give me some relief.
Somebody did a study, and I'm assuming it was somebody that was pro stay at home, but they claim that they are more productive at home because they don't get lost in like the office water cooler drama and shit like that. But
it wouldn't even be no fun.
You know how studies are.
That would suck to have a job you sit home by yourself all fucking day. I want to be able to fuck around with people and laugh and have a good time.
See there, so maybe they are more productive.
But I don't know how many jobs.
I want to fuck around at work.
How many jobs can you do at your house?
Break from my ass.
Yeah. I mean, how many jobs can you do at your house? Like for a fucking dentist, what are you doing? Other than the person that bills the insurance and shit?
I would say a receptionist could do a job at home.
And she bills the
like
insurance.
A dental hygienist? No.
Yeah.
You got to be their girlfriend.
Even working on a fucking tank. You can't do that at home.
No. But there's a lot of jobs that are, you know, mainly telephone and emails and shit like that.
I'll tell you.
There's a lot of jobs.
I'll tell you a conspiracy theory that I read last night was kind of interesting. It was on all the shoplifting at these stores, and these stores are now closing. And why they're not fighting the shoplifting is the stores do not want to be open for the public anymore.
They want to close down brick and mortar
everywhere, and they just want you to buy online. And if you go and steal and shit, that gives them an excuse to just close it down. That's what they're trying to do that for, is let people steal. That'll be a reason to close them down. But I don't like to shop, so I don't give two shits one way or the other. I'll never go in another Target again. Thank God. I wish everybody, including Allsops, would offend my wife so I'd never have to go in nothing again.
Well, I guess I'm in touch with my feminine side on that because, damn, I like to shop. Hell, I get paid to shop.
Oh, I hate shopping. Absolutely can't stand. I'm a buyer. I go in and buy what I want and get the hell out the door. I don't give a shit if it's where it's at.
Yep, I like to get it and get gone.
But yeah, but from a business standpoint, like why, you know, you're paying rent, you're paying insurance, you're paying employees. So
if you lost 25% in sales, you're still making more money.
So from their aspect, you're like, we'll just go all online and
we'll
cut our overhead.
We'll use Target for example. Let's say Target does $100 billion in sales a year. They shut down all their fucking stores. You have to do everything online, and their sales go to $500 million a year. You're still going to be making more profit. That's right. A lot of rent and a lot of people to be paying that you don't have to pay.
Scary.
Yeah, it was like during COVID, you know, like the hamburger places, you know, you drive-throughs. Mm-hmm. Man, they were making huge profits because they run a lot less employees, didn't have to pay anybody to clean up the place, you know, because they wouldn't let you come in and dine. It was all drive-through, and they had a hell of a line. They made huge profits.
Yeah, COVID changed everything for sure. Because everybody figured out how to do something else, and now they're not wanting to go back to the old way.
Man, how did we get where there's chicks making a living showing their rectums on camera thing? Become stupid rich.
Stupid rich.
Dude, I'm telling you, if I was an 18-year-old girl and I had a cooter that could cut diamond glass, that's what I'd be doing, boy. I'd be making me some cash. Those girls, it is crazy the kind of money they make. I saw a girl was on Facebook. Somebody shared a page, and she was bitching in some town she lived in because she had an OnlyFans, and she was getting a lot of deals. She goes, listen, what I'm doing, my grandmother probably isn't happy with me and my grandpa. But she goes, there's 10,000 of you bastards out there paying me $5 every month to look at it. Well,
you reckon there's an audience for butt-naked Santa Clauses?
I bet there is.
I'll bet there is. And that's right.
You can find it.
Have you not seen Bad Santa? Oh, what's the guy's name that was a star? Billy Bob Thornton?
Yeah.
He banged that hot chick that was the bartender there. She had a thing for Santa Clauses. There's some out there.
Yeah, I need to look into that right there. Get me one of them. Get me a red and white G-string and Santa.
I promise you, if you did it, you would be. I'll bet you'd make $10,000 a month doing that.
Stuff me a cucumber in that thing and go to work. Right. My lap, like I couldn't hurt her a damn bit, man. She just as best she goes with her mama.
A lot of money to be made these days on stuff like that. But you're right. Who would have ever thought that's the way that's a game plan for some people?
Sure enough, man.
It is. So, where was I going to go? Oh, fishing. Well, how,
yeah,
you're catching some of these monsters. How far offshore are you going?
That swordfish, I think we were probably within 20 miles of Venice coast, because we'd located them in there in about, I ain't gonna give all that away. We were in 20 miles, and the fish was in between 1,600 and 1,000 foot deep down there hanging out, and had a phenomenal trip on that.
How long of a fight was that?
4.5 hours.
Holy shit.
What'd you catch?
Caught a 277.2 swordfish. And see, we caught 5 in them 2 days. I caught the 277, another in the 180s, another in the 160s, and a couple of little ones that we released.
But they were all swordfish, right?
All swordfish.
Did you catch them at night?
No, daytime fishing. You're bumping bottom real deep, and because he's hanging out in them ditches, and he's hanging in the ambush. You know, a lot of people think of a swordfish like they do a marlin or a sailfish, but that old swordfish, he's laying on the bottom kind of like a catfish, because when you clean them, actually you take a hose pipe and brush and wash the damn mud off of them.
Really?
Yeah, man. He's down there hanging out in the ambush, but he's like 65% meat. I mean, and it's fine. So, yeah, we got some clients that's going to be eating good this year.
So you're grilling them then is how you cook a swordfish, right?
Yeah, we'll probably grill them and pan sear them for them. But I got 375 pounds of meat of swordfish fillets in the freezer right now.
Did someone bring us some swordfish up here one time?
Is that what they did the ceviche out of?
No, that was out of tuna, out of bluefin, I think. That shit was good.
I feel like somebody did.
Yeah.
Somebody brung us some swordfish, and I can't remember. I know I've had it before, but I thought they caught them at night on the East Coast. They catch them at night because they come up to the shallower water at night, right?
And they do fish for them at night around there, and they'll I don't know. They got a glow stick with it, but he does come up shallow at night, because if you've seen that picture, you know his eyes is that big around, and that big old eye is riding inside of a bone cup like a bowl, and that keeps the eyeball from crushing, and then that rides inside that skull right there.
With all the pressure, you mean? It keeps it from getting too much pressure on it?
Right. That's why that eyeball rides inside that bone cup.
How?
And, I had those cups took out, and I got a friend of mine. He'll polish them up, and he'll put some etching on everything. They'll be pearl white when he's done. Beautiful. It
looks like, God damn, those eyes are huge.
Yeah, they are big, man.
What?
If you look, you got a little clear marble in there, and when you catch you first, and you're supposed to eat that.
Did you?
That's shit, no.
You're not getting pressured into that?
Nobody, they didn't pressure me, but, this year, we're sitting around the lodge right there, and we had some guys in the early speck season, and I said, all right, who all killed their first speck today? I said, the guys sticking their hands up. We got a tradition here at On the Deck Outfitters. Said, when you kill your first speck, to honor the kill, you have to eat his heart.
Eat the heart.
You got to eat the heart. And I mean, we had some champs, so give me that heart. Give me that heart. And some of them, they took it, chewed it up, swallowed it. Some of them, they kind of gagging on it. But we finally had to quit because of the avian flu. One of my partners said, man, you're going to get us sued. Gonna get us sued. Like go get avian flu for beating one of them damn raw hearts.
Yeah, we you get that a lot with like turkeys and stuff too. We had a kid, same type thing. So you know the drill. Like whenever they were like, "Hey, you got to eat that thing," you're like, "No." Like I do this for a living. All right, I rope-a-dope people professionally. You're not getting me.
The rope-a-dope.
Yeah,
I like it.
So
yeah.
I'm looking at your IG right now, and I'm looking at pictures of that fish. So that fish is not brown. That is mud and dirt on him.
He changes when he's in the water and he's not tired. The tireder he gets, he loses color. They start getting drab. You know, like mahi. You know, he's a real bright colored fish, but once you get him out and he starts dying, he starts getting dark and ugly. Well, that's what happens to him. The tireder he gets, but when he's in the water, he's a brilliant blue, purple hue on his back, silver sides, and with some gold in there. But, you know, right there, you seeing scrapes and marks on his side. Yeah. Damn line, because he's turning sideways against me. And that line is rubbing up against on his side right there, making those marks.
Okay, I got it now.
Yeah.
So
That's what that is.
As a professional deep sea fisherman, I have a few questions for you. Then I've always heard wives tell that the eyes on a swordfish is got fresh water in it in tuna. Is that true?
I couldn't tell you.
I have heard that before for people that have been stranded, that they get there's water sacs there. I don't know if it's true or not.
Under the tuna?
It's in their eyes. Tunas and swordfish, their eyes have fresh water in them.
I do know that if you were stranded on a boat and you can get to a saltwater fish, you know, it's not salt water in his meat. You know, so if you can just eat the raw meat, you know, you can get some water nutrients out of that, some fresh water. So I don't see why it wouldn't be fresh water.
That's what I've always heard. Their eyes have fresh water in them.
Were you give out by the end? By the time you finally got him up to the boat, were you give out?
Can I answer this for you?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, he's wore out.
I was destroyed.
See, I told you. That's a miserable time.
I was destroyed. Fun left the damn scene in about 2.5 hours.
Oh, I'd have left my ass about 2 hours and 20 minutes before that even.
Yeah. Fun jumped off the damn trail, went running through the fucking woods.
Why do people do this then?
To catch a big fish.
I didn't want to be a quitter.
I didn't want to be a quitter.
Mama didn't raise no quitter. That's why I'm so damn fat. I eat everything on my.
I caught about an 80-pound wahoo off of Mexico one time. And
how was that?
How was it?
Yeah, I mean, how was that fight?
It was about 30 to 45 minutes. And when I got done, my fucking arms felt like spaghetti. And I told the guy, I said, no mas. He goes, he was putting weight. I said, no, I'm done. I said, if you catch another one, you fucking reeling that some bitch in. I said, we want to go and we want to do some Democrat fishing on the bottom and just catch some fucking catch some snapper and stuff. I said, we don't want to catch anything over 5 pounds. I'd much rather catch 100 5-pound fish than one 500-pound fish. I'm done.
We trolled for some for some wahoo, and that's on my target list. I'd like to catch a wahoo.
Well,
Sure.
Port Adventurous, Mexico. It was pretty simple.
What are y'all using for bait right here? Is that a squid?
Big squid. That squid about 1.5 foot long, and he'll get in there. He'll sew that thing up where it won't collapse, and sew it into the leader. And yeah, that's that fish. That matter of fact, that big fish, he hit 6 times, and we found half that squid inside his belly because he took that sword and he made a slash one time and cut it in half and swallowed it. Then he come back and kind of knocked at it, and got it down his throat in and hooked.
So he uses that sword as a weapon then.
Weapon.
How hard is that thing? Is that like?
Is there any
bone.
give to it? It is
It's
bone.
bone.
Oh,
It's kind of like a honeycomb inside it, you know, where it, so I could say it would flex because there's blood running through it. It's got a blood supply, but that thing, it can get chipped and grow back, kind of like a fingernail, but yeah, it's alive.
That would make a cool mount, the skull of one of those.
Oh man, you bet. I've got 3 of those swords down there. I've got them with a guy down there in Mississippi, one of my hunting buddies, Craig Brumfield. He'll take that thing and he'll polish it and get it out, and it'll be just pearl white. And then he'll engrave on it, and he can put any scene you want on there. So we'll have it inside the lodge, and we're gonna get a full body mount of that fish and hang it in the lodge also.
That is really cool. I would like to. I've never seen one like that, but you've seen how they do the skulls of certain things, and that would be a really cool with that sword.
I think it would. I think the sword, skull, and all would be beautiful.
Yeah.
So my dumb question is are you able to like switch off the rod and reel, or is it you can
switch it off? But I kind of run my damn mouth, and I told him, I said, because a lot of times they'll on those swords, the rod's in the rod holder, and a lot of times their trips are 5 or 6 guys come fish, and everybody takes turn reeling on it. Well, I'm kind of a selfish person when I do things, and I want to do it myself.
Right.
So, but I stayed on that fish for 3.5 hours. We had him to the boat, and they went to hit him with a harpoon. They got a harpoon there, and they killed him down there pretty deep and missed him. And that son of a bitch turned and went 300 foot back down, and I mean, it's just like he took my balls with him, and I didn't have nothing left. And finally, at 4-hour mark, I said, guys, I got to get off this damn thing. I got to have a break. And I got off of him, put it in the rod holder, and my partner, he cranked on it. My wife cranked on it. And I said, give it back to me. And I got back on there, and we got him to the boat and killed him.
That's like on that, what's it called? Wicked tuna?
Yeah.
Those guys are catching them and those girls and stuff. And they make it look like it's a 5-minute fight. Well, damn well they're fighting some of them fish for an hour. Oh,
yeah. I mean, they caught one 2 weeks before I got down there to Venice. It weighed 676 or something.
A tuna?
He spent 7 hours in the chair on that fish.
Oh, fuck that.
God.
7 hours.
Are they buying the tuna in Venice like they do on the East Coast? Or is everybody just doing it, taking them themselves?
Those guys you see have a commercial fisherman license. And this kind of goes back to the Hatch Act, for selling waterfowl and stuff. You and me go fishing, and we catch a boatload of, we catch more fish than we need, more tuna than we need, than we can possibly ever eat. We can't sell it to a restaurant.
No.
We can't sell it to the fish market because we don't have a commercial fishing license.
Oh, so you can't even sell it on the docks like the guys on the Wicked Pisser and stuff do?
Hell no.
So I did not know that.
Yeah, those guys have a license and they can sell it. It's like the boys that caught that 676. They just, they filled their freezers up and gave meat away.
Yeah, that's a $10,000 fish.
Yeah, or more. If it's on the commercial market.
Yeah,
it absolutely. I don't see the reason why. It's great.
I don't understand that either. We were off in the Pacific one time off Puerto Vallarta, and we caught. I was in college, and I think there was 8 of us, and we rented a boat out and we fished all day, and we had over 100 tuna. Nothing huge. Most of them were 20 to 40 pound fish, but we come back to dock, and the captain and the deckhand were like, "Y'all want us to clean these?" Like, we ain't taking them home with us. Said, "You can have them." Oh Jesus, you thought we gave them the greatest gift in the whole world. And I don't know if they sold them or not, but we had a boat full of fish.
I bet they did.
And I didn't care. That was we went fishing. We drank 5 cases of beer and we fished all day and we had a great time. It was one of the best fishing trips I've ever been on in my life. But we ran the whole boat. I was driving the boat. We took turns. We were captain. We were deckhands. We let them sit down and drink cervezas, and we did all the fucking work. We set the drags on the boat. We had a good time.
I hear you. I'd like to do that myself.
How long did it take them to get that swordfish cleaned up and ready to go for you guys?
Just a minute.
Really?
I mean, he had the hair knocked off that thing in 5 minutes.
Oh shit! I figured with all that meat.
Well, all they do is they cut right by, make a strip right down the middle, down the spine, and they cut right behind the head. Well, the meat's so heavy on there, it just starts, filleting right off the bone right there. And then all you do is cut it up into big chunks. We're cutting up chunks, about like that, and then put them in baggies.
Huh. So it didn't take long at all?
No, not long at all.
So you're going to put that on a smoker or grill, correct?
Yep.
Will you cut it into like
Steaks.
12-ounce, 14-ounce steaks?
Yeah. Man, a little oil, salt, pepper, a little seasoning, something. It don't need much. It don't need doctor enough. It's such a mild, unfishy tasting piece of meat. It's delicious.
And you cook it medium rare?
No. You cook it on a low heat, like medium heat, and get it done. It's not like tuna. And you cook it sort of like a pork chop.
Right.
It's a lot of fat in it, like pork chop. Matter of fact, we got the bellies off of those fish, and we're going to make burnt ends out of them because they're so there's so much fat and they're porkish like that.
I'll be damned.
So we'll have swordfish burnt ends for appetizers.
Ooh. I'll be looking. I'll be looking. You gotta be sure and post that on Facebook so I can see that whenever that happens.
Do you barbecue it? Is that what you're putting barbecue on it too?
Yeah, we'll try that, and then you can also slice it up real thin and fry it up and make like cracklings, like pork skins out of that belly.
So it is just like pork then.
Yeah. It's real. It's a real fatty fish. Real fatty.
Well,
it's
the best eating in the world is down there on the Gulf Coast. The coon asses can cook, and everybody around there knows how to cook like they do. And there ain't no better food in the world.
There's a got old boy down there I fish with sometimes and do inshore fishing with old Walter, and he was born there in Venice, in that area. And he's talking about his mama. She loved them poodoos.
Oof.
Them coots.
Yeah, the gizzards.
I said, Walter, don't shit me. I don't want to hear that shit. He said, I'm serious, Mr. Stacey. Mama loved them poodoos. I said, she'd take a poodoo over a teal or a mallard. He said, every time. Every time. She loved them.
No.
So we're missing out on something.
I don't think so.
My dad used to eat the gizzards on them.
I don't think we're missing anything.
Give
me a teal with a little bit of bacon and a little slice of fresh jalapeno.
I get one or two clients a year that wants me to save the hearts and gizzards.
Out of coots?
Now, all the Cajuns want the hearts.
On a coot, a coot, or on a speckle belly?
On a speckle belly, on a duck, anything we kill. I guess if we kill one of the damn dogs, they want his heart too. Mr. Stacey, get me them hots.
No. I think I'm good there. I think I'm good. I think I'm gonna stick to like the breast meat and leave the skin on it. That's about as adventurous as I get.
Yep. Till we get those guys killing their first speckle belly, and then they're eating them raw hearts.
I'm not doing that.
I ain't eating that.
I need to make a station over there at the big Honker Lodge.
Can't. Bird flu.
Right.
Bird flu.
How long what did you guys see out of the bird flu last year?
We saw a sandhill crane with its head drooping down.
I never saw anything, but we don't have a big snow goose concentration. If we do, they're here today, gone tomorrow. So we never saw anything.
I didn't see any speckle bellies with it. I didn't see any ducks with it. Only thing we seen was juvie snows, and they didn't last long. We'd get a bunch of snows come in, we'd shoot and have a volley, and then there might be 4, 5, 6 just walking around out there, and they wouldn't leave. I mean, you could walk out there with a stick, knock them in the head. But in 2 weeks, 3 at the most, no more avian flu. It was all gone.
We had at the tea or something one day. We had a bird that was real weird acting. And I don't remember the whole deal, but it was a speck, and it was acting real funky. It wouldn't leave the deal, wouldn't get up. It could have been shot in somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It could have been something else, but I do remember that. But that was the only situation that I can remember last year.
But there's been instances where I've had birds land in the decoys and just not leave until you shoot them. Like I've had that before this year.
Right.
We were sending kids out. There'd be little boys in blind. So come here, boy. You know how to shoot that gun? Yeah. Go out there and kill that goose. And they go slipping up out there, sneaking up on them. I mean, they loved that, but they wouldn't run. They wouldn't leave. They just bam. You go out, like I said, you go out there with a stick.
Huh.
And I guess it's over now. I haven't seen much of it.
I think our herd got. This is my theory. I think our herd of snow geese got stronger because that went through, and the ones that didn't die built up immunity. But I did not see any adult snow geese with it. None. It was all juvies.
I saw some park geese in Central Park or somewhere, big graders that had it, but 2 weeks later they were completely fine.
I didn't think you recovered.
Yeah.
No, well, these had a recovery.
Huh.
Now I'm sure someone's going to call me out because everybody calls me out on every podcast for something I say, but
you know what? When we was talking about those, when did the specks show up there in Arkansas and everything?
Yeah.
I met a guy, Don Goucher, lives at his family homesteaded around the mouth of Pascagoula River over in Mississippi. Don's probably 73, 74-year-old. And I got asking him, I said, we was talking about goose hunting, and stuff. And he says, he pointed out there to the river. And he said, you see that sandbar out there? I said, yeah. He said, when I was a kid, he said, that sandbar is about 2 miles long. He said, when I was a kid, he said, that sandbar would be packed solid with snow geese. And he says, I could get in a rowboat, row over there. And he says, they couldn't fly. They couldn't get away. And he said, I'd go out there with a damn paddle, knock them in the head, fill up the boat, bring them back. And he said, Mama would can them or we'd eat them. And I said, you mean they wouldn't fly? He says, no, they wouldn't fly. And what was happening, I put it all together. That was before all the agriculture in Missouri and Arkansas and Mississippi. So those birds did not have a place to stop. So they flew all the way through Arkansas, through Missouri, through Arkansas, down to the coast. But when they got there, their damn muscles were so tired they couldn't fly. And that's what it was.
Just wore out.
So, and I said, well, Don, when did they quit coming? He says, when I got back from Vietnam, I noticed we didn't have any snows. He said the snows had quit. So that kind of answers the question when the birds started. I think it all goes back to when the agriculture hit Arkansas up that way in Missouri, and then, which was probably in the 70s when they started cutting all that. The birds quit coming down there to them.
When I was a kid hunting, we went to Eagle Lake a few times to hunt. Would have been in the 80s, early 80s. It was high school, so yeah, the early 80s, and we'd go to Eagle Lake and go hunting. And at that time, there was mostly snow geese there. We had Canada geese up here because here I could shoot anything I could see. I had an opportunity to decoy to hunt. Well, you went down there and that wasn't the case. It was pass shooting. If you weren't between point A and point B, or the weather wasn't just right, you might as well have your dick in your hand because you wasn't going to kill much. But
right.
The old timers down there that I would talk to, and I've always enjoyed talking to older people because I like to hear about history and what it used to be like. And I would talk to guys, and they would talk about them shooting graders down on the Texas coast. They used to shoot a lot of Canada geese there. Well, then they put in more and more rice. The Canada geese started staying further north and not migrating as far, and they're a very adaptive bird. But every place that has birds right now, it's a cycle. And the guy told me that years ago, and he's exactly right. He told me back when we were shooting the little geese here and we were wintering about 1 million little small Canadas here, he said, that's going to change one day. He said, it may be food-wise, it might be weather, could be a drought, but he said, them birds are going to move and go somewhere else. And he goes, they're going to go somewhere else for 20 years. And he goes, then they're going to have the same thing happen to them. He said, you watch. And as I've gotten older and I've realized that a lot of this stuff happens, and so there's a chance maybe one day those birds may go back to Mississippi. Who knows?
Yeah,
but
you're exactly right. I think you're exactly right. In my lifetime, I've seen birds change.
Yeah, and I have too. Like you said, when I first got in the business, nobody went to Stuttgart, Arkansas to shoot a goose.
No,
it was all ducks.
We were, I got two. I'm partner with two other fellows at that place, Kevin Rebb and Dusty Barber, and it's like before we all three got together, the three of us were all getting the same idea. And my idea was I was, learning 8 or 9 years ago, I was trying to learn how to kill geese. Mm-hmm. And same thing with Dusty, same thing with Kevin, because we were seeing writing on the wall right there. And then luck would have it, we all three kind of eventually things bring us together. And I think that's what makes us so successful is we were a little bit ahead of the ball game in our area around there. And now you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a damn goose guide around there. But things have changed, and you just have to change with it. I guess, I don't know, shoot, my grandson, he might be hunting starlings one of these days. I don't know.
So you guys were adapting to the new birds, the speckle bellies, and everybody else was still trying to hang on and shoot a duck.
Well, I was hunting over at Mississippi Delta, and I kept seeing all these all them specks landing out there in the fields, and the only time anybody ever killed a speck was he just got close enough to shoot. I kept thinking, by goddamn, there's got to be a way to kill them rascals. And I got asking questions, and just working at it. And now I wish I could go. I wish I had that knowledge I got now and go back then and kill specs. Just like I wish I had that knowledge now and go back to high school. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, like fuck. Like if you knew what you knew now, it'd be awful.
Do you think
wrecking them?
Do you think a lot of people nowadays are the speckle belly hunting? Do you think it's because back in the day when everybody started hunting specks, not very many people had speck decoys. We were all shooting them over white geese or Canada decoys. Because in our area, it made a big difference when we quit shooting them over Canadas. Don't you think, Andy? When we started using just more speckle belly decoys?
I think that's like chicken and egg.
You don't think it made a difference in specs coming into Canada decoys?
I don't. When we were running a lot of Canada decoys, I don't think we had the speck population that we do today. So,
but when we went through that swap, we started buying speck decoys, and I think that made a big difference.
That's what we were primarily seeing.
And I think the birds decoy better to speck decoys than they do Canada decoys.
Well, yeah.
How many snows do y'all get in your area?
Not many.
Maybe 10,000.
Maybe on a good year.
And we don't want them.
Just you don't want them?
Fuck no.
All right.
No, you can have them.
You can have all them some bitches you want. Hard-headed motherfuckers.
Try this one day when you're out there and just take your water, just a small water, like 2 or 3 dozen snows. Just put a little isolated group out there and watch what happens. On them days when things are getting kind of stupid and they ain't working just right, just go out there and try to, I guess I'm giving away a secret, but just throw a few snows out there and you.
We run white decoys every day, just about.
Okay.
But what's going to happen now is everybody that listens to our podcast that hunts with us, which is 99% of our groups.
Why ain't you got those snow geese out there?
I thought we was going to have 3 or 4 dozen snow geese off to the side there.
Yeah. Well, y'all get it then. Hey.
Stacey Coker said you need 3 or 4 dozen snow goose decoys. Yeah. But yeah. I throw a lot, like when things get tough, I'm pretty quick to start changing things up. I try to be.
And do you ever, those dive bombs got those black and whites?
Yes.
Does that work on specs?
The times that I've used it, I have not had a whole lot of success with them.
Okay.
So I'd need to try it out more. But there was a handful of times when they first came out that I threw them out there, and I don't know if the weather wasn't right because I can't remember. I think I might have put them out on like sunny days, and I don't think that's what they're designed for. I think they're more of like a low ceiling kind of nasty kind of day.
There you go. What colors y'all's dirt? Does y'all's dirt match your specs?
Kinda, yeah.
Specs can land in some of our fields, and you can't. If he falls out there dead, you can't see.
Yes, yeah. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, they stick out a little bit, but there's some fields that are kind of because we have a real sandy texture out here, so Most of the time it's not an issue, but if you're hunting like a muddy type of field, they're invisible. They're invisible.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm thinking about it now because I remember taking a picture, and it was kind of a crappy, kind of spit and snow, little misty type stuff. And I put out black and whites that day, and they worked like a champ.
I love picking guys' brains, and sharing information stuff. That's a good idea on an old dreary, shitty day. Go with some black.
Yeah. And I think I might have even been, I think the reason that really pushed me to go with that black is I think I might have even been like hunting traffic, and I wanted to stand out whenever they flew over. And because I remember it was foggy. You couldn't see the end of your decoy spread. And I was like, we're going to run black and whites and just see what happens. And it worked that day.
How do y'all, if we get a fog, I'm packing more bullets.
Right.
Man. Foggy days are the bestest.
Boy, it's complete opposite here.
Well, if you can get wind.
Yeah, if you wake up in the morning and it's foggy outside, I'm like, whew, it's going to be a bad day. I mean, matter of fact, I'll get up and pee in the middle of the night, and I look outside on nights and it's starting to get real foggy. I'll be like, tomorrow morning's going to be tough. Because when we have fog, we have zero wind.
Son, if we got fog, if I wake up and see we got fog, I don't need no Viagra. I got bone right there. I mean... it's gonna get stupid quick.
Yeah,
they will out that daggone fog, and they are just the thicker the better.
Really,
the better.
They'll
just hear you call and just get in there.
There's foggy days here, and they break that cloud, they break the fog, and then you hear the zipper, and then you're like, what the fuck was that about? Oh,
I gotta get out.
Yeah. I mean, and then it's just like, I mean, I don't know what it is about it, but yeah, a lot of times if it's foggy out here and there's no wind, as soon as they break that, they see the decoys, and it's just Zipper City, all of them.
We're just a few hundred miles apart, and the birds act completely different.
Yeah. But it's just, I don't know. How much pressure do y'all have out there? Like, I mean,
it's got a lot of pressure.
Right.
Man, you can, I'll hear 2 or 3 spreads going. Sometimes I can see a couple of spreads. The pressure's gotten more out there in Arkansas. I mean, it's got where, because some of them guys can see they don't have duck land. They can kill some specks, and everybody's goose guide out there right now.
See, I wonder what that is, because that is crazy that a couple 100 miles can make that big of a difference on how the birds react to different conditions.
Right. Yeah, we hunt highly pressured birds, and we just have to adapt our spreads and our calling to make it happen. And I think what really helps us is our scouting, because there's sometimes that you can go out there and you'll see birds, and there's a bunch of birds, but where they're holding, we got no hide right there. Can't get them, and sometimes they're just crossing the southeast corner of a field per se. They're going from water to feed, and they're crossing that corner, but the only cover is going to be up there on the northwest, and you can't kill them, or you just. Our scouting reports is really what helps us. Yeah. We got 2 guys, Kevin and Dusty. I mean, them some guns, they can read their minds just about. And I do the easy part. I just get to go up and do the killing. But our scouting is what you got to have a good scout to kill specks. You really do.
Yeah.
Around here.
We're lucky because Jeff does all of our scouting. I'm kind of like you. I just show up and just a hired gun.
Yeah. I mean, you develop, Jeff tell you, I mean, he develops an eye for it. He can drive by pheasant. We can kill them, or you'll see some flying over. We can kill those birds. They ain't landed in here, but we can kill them. We can run traffic. He'll come in and tell you can run traffic out there and kill them. And most of the time, he's probably right.
Well, Andy's not being completely honest either. Andy, we do scout in the evening as a group. Me, the guides do, but we also hunt in the same places for 30 years, and we know on a north wind, birds are going to do. There's places that we have when all of our players are full that on a north wind you can go hunt. I don't give a shit if there's a bird on it the day before. If we have a hard north wind and north front comes in the middle of the night, that's a place to hunt the next day. And we've got a lot of that's just putting a lot of time into it. You know, I'm not going to go to another place. I couldn't go to where y'all are and scout, and I could scout where the birds are and where we need to hunt the next day from what I seen the day before. But a lot of that's just experience of being in the same area and hunting the same birds year after year.
But you're also scouting while they're hunting. There's a lot of guys that don't have that luxury.
Oh yeah, I scout first light in the morning. I'm scouting.
Yeah, see, there's, most outfits don't have scouts out while they're hunting. Those guys are having to guide. They're having to be out there putting out decoys. Some of the smaller outfits, and they can't scout when they need to be scouting. They're scouting in the afternoon. Well, while we're in the field, everybody likes to sit out there in the truck, if you're scouting, watch them fall, watch them shoot them and everything. But, we got guys out scouting and sending messages, and that's what works for us.
Yeah. We do a lot of times I'm 2 days scouting ahead. I
try to be.
Yeah. I try to be 2 days. I try to have 2 days planned out at all times. Now, sometimes I don't, and I'm not going to lie. If it's dark at 6 o'clock in the wintertime, I've been 5:48 many times. Where the fuck's my third field going to be? I mean, I'm not going to lie.
Or first field.
Or first field. I've been there lots of times, and 8 o'clock at night, I'm like, no, I got a brain fart. We're going to do this and stuff. I've done that before too, but a lot of times I try to be 2 days. We're going to hunt this on Monday, and then on Tuesday, this is what we're going to do. And a lot of times it works out that way because I watch the weather real close, and if we let an area set for a couple of days, we know those birds are going to be on our stuff, and nobody's fucking with them, and we'll be in good shape. But I know
you do the same thing. They'll ask me, "Hey, Stacey, where we gonna hunt in the morning?" Shit, man, I ain't got no idea. We really don't know till we put all of our information together at 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, we have a guide meeting at 6 o'clock right before dinner every night, and we make up our decision then what we're doing. But a lot of times we'll have it that in that morning. I'll come in from hunting, and I'm like, we're gonna hunt X, X, and X, and those are the 3 fields we're hunting tomorrow. And we'll scout, but that's 90% of the time we'll do exactly what I had planned the night that morning before from what I've seen. And then I've got it planned for the next day a lot of times. But I'll have a guy call me. Somebody will call me next week because this is Thursday already. So next week I will get a phone call, and this will be the question I get asked. Where do you think we're going to hunt at? I don't know.
Any idea where we're going to be at?
Shit. You could call me the day before, and I don't know sometimes until our guide meeting at 6.
It'll be today. They'll book today. Are we going to be hunting fields? We're going to be hunting timber.
Yeah.
We're going to be where the damn birds is. So
yeah.
And, I have it all the time. They'll come up the night before. Hey, we'd like to go hunting the timber. Well, what if they ain't in the timber? What if they're in that bean field over there? What if they're in what if we go over to them coffee beans and we set up and we're done by 8 o'clock, 7:30? Sometimes they ain't in there. What happens in our woods in that part of the world, and it's for all of it, when the Mississippi River gets up, and of course when it gets up, it backs up the cash and the black and the white. But the Mississippi River's got to get up. It's got to flood. And then that sucks birds off the fields into the woods. Mm-hmm. That's why. If the Mississippi River's low, you're killing birds in the fields.
Right.
That's why.
I had a guy from New Jersey here last year. Never even been to Texas in his life. Comes in my office. It was wanting to settle up. I said, I'll settle up at the end. Unless you want to settle up now, we'll settle up now. I usually try to settle up with my hunters when they're leaving. And that way we can do tips, bird clean, everything at once. I hate to be that place that people come in, they want money before they do anything with you. I'm just not that way. And everybody's different, but I'm not that way. So anyways, comes in, he goes, he's going to pay me. I said, we'll settle up at the end. Oh, you sure? I said, yeah, we'll just settle up at the end. He goes, where are we hunting at tomorrow? I go, we're hunting on the T. Okay. Fucker don't know what the T is from nothing in the world. The D to T. Oh, okay. And walked out. I'm thinking, what the fuck? You don't know even know what you're talking about.
I like it. I like that.
Yeah, you give them the name of the field, and they're like, all right.
Yeah, we're at the tobacco field. Okay, good deal. They go out and tell those guys we're at the tobacco field tomorrow. Okay. Fucking what? Is it peanuts? Is it Milo? Is it wheat? What is it? We ain't got no tobacco here. I just named a field a tobacco field one time.
And that's you brought up peanuts. We got some farmers that gone to peanuts around there, and I ain't seen the damn birds get on the peanuts yet.
That's all they eat here.
That's all they eat. They love them.
I keep driving by that field just thinking, man, they're gonna be in there any day. Once they find that right there, it's gonna get stupid, and they never find it.
That's so weird too.
Is there straw all over the field?
No, it's just like they got other things on their mind. They got
are they baling
beans and corn.
Do they bale the peanuts there?
No, they're just out there. They got them turned up out there, and then got a few of them. But you walk out there and there's peanuts everywhere.
That's crazy because now are they the big peanuts?
Mm-hmm.
If we had one year, they planted some long fucking peanuts, long as your finger, and they wouldn't. They wouldn't use them. The little Spanish peanuts, fucking ducks and geese love them suckers.
Yeah, they ain't nothing big long ones like that. No.
And they swallow them whole.
Yeah.
And another thing, like cornfields out here, they started going to corn about 3 years ago, and I was like, fuck yes. Like, we got corn, and it's corn and peanuts back to back. The geese will not get in those cornfields. They'll stay in the peanut fields. Very rarely will we hunt a cornfield that's just loaded.
The ducks will get in it.
The ducks will do it, but like when they first started doing this about 3 years ago, I was like, we're in the money. Like, we got two grain sources back to back, same field. Like, this is going to be money. And so far, it has not.
We've had some good cornfield hunts, but not like
I was anticipating 3 years ago when they first started planting corn out here.
They love the peanuts, though.
And they love it when, like farmers last year, it was dry enough for them to burn.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the guns burned up all of our darn cover, too. Well, we had a hard time hiding on the ditches because it was so dry, and they was able to burn every darn thing, which they usually can't. But they'll burn a field, in there, it just exposes all that corn seed and all them beans and everything. Man, they'll get in there. And tell you something else, too, is the y'all's farm, they roll a bean field.
We don't have beans.
Peanuts and corn.
Okay. All right. They'll get out there in the bean field and roll it, and they're trying to get it level, so they can get an early start in the spring.
Yeah.
Happens when they roll it, I've seen the birds almost get in the way of the darn tractor. Because when they're rolling it, they're exposing more seed. And there you are here in January, there's green seeds, green beans, just this shell for them. And there'll be just gobs of daggum specks in there and ducks.
Yeah, they do that. The problem is a lot of times right after they do that, they're like trying to get an early start on spring. So if they do it, a lot of times it's coming right behind with like a deep plow. So.
Yeah. Well, it stays wet out there where we at, man. I mean, I got mud coming out my ears 2 months after the season.
I don't know how y'all do it with all that mud out there.
Man, it's brutal. And I ain't gonna lie to you about it. It is brutal. I ain't no telling how many times I've stepped out of my damn boots, my barefoot, stock foot, go down the mud, and there I'm having a cuss fit and laughing at me.
So do y'all have to like take an ATV everywhere that you go to get into the field, or how do y'all set up?
Before they get too soggy, we can actually drive our trucks out there, and we have been able to drive in the field. But yeah, it gets so wet that we got Argos with tracks now, and we got side by sides, and we got we got a big old Argo 950 with tracks, and then it's got an Argo trailer, and we can haul 15 people in that Argo trailer.
Wow.
With one leg. So we'll that's how we we'll park on the paved road.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bitch right there, is your unload to load and go out and fill and put it out and come back and unload again and load it back up. When you can't go out there with a trailer. But
yep. There's a handful of times each year that we've got to do that, and I'm telling you what, the whole night before, I am just pissed off
Oh,
because you're right. I mean, you got to park on the. You got it now all of a sudden because most of the places we hunt at, we can just take. Everybody can drive in. It's a sandy field. Farmer's gonna like even if you leave some ruts, the farmer's gonna come in and he's got to plow it and all this other stuff. So if you have a couple ruts, like it's not the end of the world. It's not a no-till field, but it's so easy. You can take one trailer in, you can drop off all of your shit, set up right there with the headlights, and then when it does rain and the time that I've got to take, because now you got to take another trailer. We don't have enough moisture to justify, spending a lot of money on an Argo or anything. So we've got, just your Polaris or whatever, and then you're backing that off, and then you got to shuttle guys in, you got to shuttle equipment in, and hell, it takes an extra guy just to do all that horse shit.
Sure does, man. I mean, it's an expensive operation when it's going like it. I mean, you're paying a lot of guys to go out there. I mean, you got guys driving, shuttling people in. You got guys driving equipment in. You got guys out there setting up decoys. You got guys over here putting up, cutting brush to, spruce up the blind.
Mm-hmm. It's a bitch.
You have to morning.
And then you get
the shit is the earlier you have to start.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, then you see the guy on the internet that y'all are just in it to make money. Well, no shit. Does anybody go to fucking work when they don't want to make money?
Yeah.
I
work harder than I've ever worked any other job.
Yeah. But it's just always their answer. Well, you're just in it to make money. Well, yeah. I didn't come into this as a millionaire for damn sure. And I'm probably not going to go out as one, but I've enjoyed what I did. But yes, I'm in it to make a living.
But I'm pissed off if you don't kill. If you shoot and miss easy shots, I'm mad at you. I'm aggravated about it, and that's one of the reasons we want everybody shooting Boss ammo.
Right.
They come, and I don't understand why guys come. They come with a daggum $1,600 Beretta, a new M2 M3 Benelli, and they go to Walmart and buy the cheapest damn steel that's on sale.
Yep.
Like it don't matter.
And then bitch about bird cleaning. That's what wears me out. It's $5 to clean a bird. Yeah. You kill 3 birds. It's $15. Well, that's kind of ridiculous. Well, take it down and clean it yourself. I don't care. But that's, you're skimping on $15 freaking dollars, Do it. And don't buy your shotgun shells, the cheap ones. It's the same shit all the time. Or I got all kinds of shit like that. Wears me out is a fucker comes up here in a rainstorm and it's had a chance of rain for 5 or 6 weeks. I didn't know it was going to rain. How do people not watch weather when they go somewhere? I don't give a shit where you go.
Am I going to need waders?
Yeah.
Am I going to need waders? Well, hell, I got them on.
See, here we don't have to wear waders very often.
Yeah, it's a mud bath every day, man.
But yeah,
it stays wet and it's a mud bath every day.
If you're going to hunt in Arkansas, you're going to need waders. I don't know why, but you should watch the weather too to find out. I bet when you go fishing offshore, I bet you look at the weather, don't you?
Do I need a poncho?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I do. I got, I don't want to go in that bad weather.
No.
I don't want, I will. But yeah, you come to Arkansas, you need to bring multiple pairs of boots. You need something to wear in the, you need something clean to wear in the lodge. You need something to wear out to your damn truck to go get something out of your truck. You need something to wear to the woods, and you need something to wear while you're out there and then take them muddy things off to get back in your truck,
Yeah.
I had an old boy hunt with me it was in the mid-90s, and I come pulling in here about 4:00 in the morning. And I'd seen something moving around in the parking lot, and I thought a deer or something was there because I could see it in my headlights. I thought, what the fuck up there? And it's this old guy named John that hunted with me, and John was about 6 foot tall and weighed about 390 pounds. And he was buck naked except for a pair of fucking rubber boots on, and he was getting he was looking for his hunting pants out of his trunk of his car. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Good morning. That coffee gonna be on in a minute? All right. And all he had on was a pair of fucking rubber boots. So that's right there. You got to have some boots to go to the car. So that's what he had.
But
oh, I'm telling you,
naked except rubber boots.
Oh, just a little shriveled up old man dick and big old butt cheeks and a long ass crack. Just bending over, just as happy as hell.
I need to hire.
You know, I mean, he put on the rubber boots to go to the pickup.
Didn't
Like,
wanna get his feet muddy.
I understand that, but why not just throw on a pair of long johns while you're at it?
I guess he slept naked.
God dang.
But but he was
Had to be your bunk mate.
I'm gonna tell you what, that old man would have been a great podcast guest. He had great stories, and was a very interesting man. And he's got a lot of stories I cannot say on here, but he was a really good guy. But he was butt fucking naked. I got there. Hey Jeff, that coffee about ready? I said, I'll have it on in just a minute. All right. He not only did he come from his trunk of his Cadillac. He had a Cadillac. The trunk looked for to come walk to my truck. I had a Blazer, one of the big Blazers at the time, and I rolled down my window, and he came to talk to me.
Naked?
Oh fuck yeah! Just buck naked, walk right to me. No shame.
Hey, but you know what? These younger guys, how old are you, Jeff?
55.
All right. Yeah, I mean, hell, we grew up when we played football. Everybody showered in the same shower house, didn't
they? Do they do that no more?
Hell no. I mean, by God, we showered one eye open because if you didn't, somebody's gonna piss on you.
What happened? What does the military? Do they have cubicles now they shower in, or is it one big open room too?
We don't have many soldiers here. So I mean, but they probably just got a big old shower house room wide open.
That's what I would think too. I used to go to the Y in Wichita when I was in college, and I go work out there all the time. And I worked for an old man in a furniture business, and he was 70 some years old, and he was an in shape old fucker. He walked or jogged probably 3, 4, 5 miles every day. Real thin, tall guy. And I was in there taking a shower in the group shower one time, and that son of a bitch come up and talk to me. And he would touch me on my shoulder, and he's just a nice old guy. Hey Jeff, how you doing? And god dang buck naked and shit. I'm trying not to look at his dick, I work for the man all the time. And just
walking around with a half hard on.
Oh yeah. Hey, my
touching Jeff's
little
shoulder
shove going on, visiting with me and shit. And my buddies would give me shit all the time. Why does he always come up and talk to you in the shower? Fucking have no idea. I would try to do my time around when he would already be out of the shower. He'd come back in. One time he got off the massage table in there and just come in and talk to me in the shower. Did y'all get them recliners taken out today? Yes, sir, we sure did. Okay, well, tomorrow I want you to, can we talk when I get my fucking clothes on?
But, yeah, we used to have a little guy like that when I worked in steel plant. Boy, we'd come out there just out of that blast furnace, black and dirty. And we called him the nude talker. Walk around and talk to everybody.
Rumor is that's what Jerry Jones does after a game. He'll shower with his players, is the rumor.
No shit.
I've never been in the Cowboys locker room. But
I don't know why he don't shower with the cheerleaders. I think he has done that too.
Yeah, that was probably in his younger days. But yeah, rumor is after the game he showers.
I think that's still a thing now.
Well, I've never been in the Dallas Cowboys locker room.
I've had more than one person tell me that though.
Right.
That he does take showers.
Team building exercise, I guess. Listen, my town was small enough. I didn't shower after football either. I just fucking rode 2 blocks home and showered there.
Can you imagine Jerry? Let's be honest. Those are the most athletic men in the world, and most of them are not of white nature. So there's some boys are slinging some meat around that place right there. Either Jerry is very well endowed, or he don't care. His money, his checkbook's what he's flaunting around then.
God bless him.
He must want them to see.
That's what I can figure. He must be hung like a fucking horse.
Yep.
So how was your snow goose season overall? Did they boogie out, or did they stick around for a while?
Hung around pretty good. We had time. We had to move. We started moving north on them a little bit right there later in the season, but got on them again pretty strong. We stayed on them till mid-March.
Wow.
Yeah, about. I'd had enough, and I was ready to start turkey hunting. That's all I could think about. I done got to the point all I could think about was turkey hunting. Walk around with turkey call in my mouth or something.
Isn't that the worst? Like, you got like a week left, and you're just like, I'm really ready to not do this.
I'm ready to go kill a RIO.
Yeah. Like I'm done.
I don't know how y'all do the snow goose deal anyways. I had an outfitter in Arkansas reached out to me in mid-January this year and wanted to know if I would be interested in getting in the snow goose game. I said, no, not really. He said, I got a great place here. He said, I've got some guys want to work. He'd let you do the management, blah, 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 blah. I was like, Betty, listen to me. When January gets here and February hits on that calendar, I am done chasing anything that's got a feather on it.
Man, we got some young guys. Matter of fact, old Zach, now he likes it, and he's run some snow goose for us in the past. But there's some of them boys. I mean, they go up there, they'll start goose hunting early up there in Canada, and they come down with us, and they really like chasing snow geese. But it is a young man's game. It is, I go about as hard as I can go out there. I mean, I don't sit around and point.
Yeah. Mid-March, like, my hat's off to you. That's
that's you damn sure ain't a quitter. That's for sure.
8 weeks longer than I'd want to do it.
I would, I've never been on a spring snow goose hunt, and I would go on one if I could drive up, get there about 10 minutes before shooting time, get set in a dry, warm pit, get my gun loaded up there and start hunting. I would go do it, but I do not have any intentions of 2:30 in the morning putting out fucking decoys and laying in the mud. Hell no.
Jeff ain't got that dog in him.
No, I ain't got that dog in me at all. My ass, it ain't happening.
A few years ago, our clients used to go to the field with us when everybody went at one time, and then and clients always want to help because most of the time guys is hunters and they're guys that's used to putting out decoys, but it was getting where what do you want me to do here? What do you want me to do over there? This and that. So then we got where our guys going by themselves, and that's now our clients don't show up until it's shooting time, and that's why we do that right there. They just show up and get in the blind and be ready to shoot. Have plenty of bullets.
Are y'all picking up and tearing down each day? Like y'all are doing you're not doing anything permanent?
We had one permanent set up last year. Every time it's picking up, setting up, just trying to go to the hot feed.
Yeah. My hat's off to you.
Because you got guys trying to cut you off.
Yeah.
I mean, hell yeah, you got guys out there trying to get between you and those birds. So you got to have enough dirt sometimes where they can't.
Yeah. How was your turkey season?
I had a good time. It was fun. I didn't kill. I can't believe I've got old when I didn't kill my limit, but I still had fun. But I had some great hunts. Had about 3 birds. It was in shooting range. It just, couldn't see sometimes, too thick, wouldn't take a shot. But hey, I had a great turkey season. And I went to Kentucky there at the end and shot a real nice bird up there. But you need to come out here and next year. Of course, you're always guiding like I am. Yeah. I don't guide on turkeys, but now where I live, I am in the Appalachian Mountains end right here. So it's a lot of straight up, straight down stuff.
Right.
Hunting these east. Went to Kentucky and hunted that land between the lakes. It's just beautiful up there, and that was fun hunting there too.
Turkey population was okay?
Yeah. We didn't have a good hatch on some of my leases for the last 3 years, and I noticed it because I keep a lot of trail cameras out. But this year, I had places where I seen 9 jakes in the field, 5 jakes come up, 3 over here. So next year should be pretty stupid for gobblers on a lot of my properties.
Yeah,
that I hunt.
Yeah,
the
last couple of years, the numbers have been kind of low, but last year it seemed like, or this last season, it seemed like they're rebounding a little bit. So I'm hopeful, and we're wet out here, so I'm hoping next year's gonna be even better.
I think a lot of people I don't know what the problem was, but I lost adult birds.
Yeah.
Adult birds disappeared. That, I would take like a, inventory. I knew about what was on so many properties with so many cameras. And then the next year, I got a lot less adults. And then I got a lot less adults the next year. But I'm hoping this year is the rebound. And because I had years I kind of, felt sorry. You kill 2 or 3 birds from one damn tree.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So what's next for you? What do you got planned this summer? Any more fishing trips, or are you just waiting for the fall?
my thing is fishing for triple tail. You ever caught a triple tail?
Triple tail.
He's fixing to tell you.
Google that thing. He's a big souped up crappie is about what he looks like. And they hang around down there in Venice around those, it's a saltwater fish, but he hangs around structure. And he hangs on the down current side of buoys and pilings and stuff like that. And I've gotten into this cane pole fishing for triple tail. And this old Don Goose down there in Mississippi, he'll get me a Calcutta cane pole. It's a 18-foot long with 220-pound test line and a big hook. And it's cane pole fishing.
I'm looking at these. Because the one picture I see, I think that this is like a world record. But this one looks humongous.
Look at that world record. Is it two guys or that the one with a woman caught in South Africa?
Two guys. This is a MSU biologist, large triple tail fish.
That bitch is huge.
That's Blake Rigby right there in that picture. That's the guy I went sword fishing with the other day.
Oh, okay.
But they actually caught a fish 2 years ago down there in Venice that would have been a world record if they hadn't rode his ass around all day long fishing.
Oh.
It was a 40-pounder. We're snatching 25 and 30 pounders out there on a cane pole. I love it.
Me and Andy are going to be in Venice in a couple of weeks. Maybe we might try that.
Hell yeah. Who are you going fishing with? Do you know?
When we get offline, I'll tell you all about it. We're doing a TV series down there, one of our new episodes. But we're doing a Louisiana deal, and we're going to do all kinds of things down there. Andy's going to go snake wrangling and all kinds of shit.
Andy is not going snake wrangling. It's not happening. I promise. There's a lot of shit that I don't know. I am not wrangling snakes.
I'll tell you some good redneck shit you need to go do while you're there. Is go hog hunting on an airboat.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This buddy of mine, he took old Warren Sapp. And old Warren Sapp, I mean, his eyes were big as balls when he got done. He was riding on the front of that airboat with an 870, and he running them hogs down. They're shooting them at point blank range right there right beside the boat, running wide open.
I'll be damned. I'll take a look at that.
We're going to do some cool stuff. I can't really talk about it on camera what we're going to do, but we're going to do some real coon-ass stuff is what we're going to do. That's the whole thing. And Andy lost a bet at one of our last deals, so he owes me one, so I get to pick something really cool for Andy to do.
It ain't going to be snake wrangling. I can tell you that right now, Mr. Coker.
Plenty of alligators that can go wrangle.
Nope.
What do you mean? So no alligator either?
No alligators, no snakes.
Would you eat nutria and possum?
Have you ever ate a nutria, Stacey?
I've never eaten nutria. I've shot in amongst them.
Wow.
Them tails, what, $6-8 a piece for them tails?
Yeah, I think so. Well, if you'd eaten one, I might have tried it. I don't know.
Anyways, we got some cool shit. I'll message you later and tell you what we're doing. We're gonna be around the Venice area. We got really some cool stuff we're gonna be doing. So on the road with the boss, we'll be down there.
When you're riding around out there in Venice, watch them roads when you get close to some water, and you'll see a wet trail coming from one side of the road to the other. That'll be where a big old alligator, he walked from one side of the road to the other, come out of the swamp.
You're interested in them alligators, aren't you, Andy?
He can just. I hope he made it safely. I'm not going to check and make sure he crossed the road all right. But
all them little impoundments, you'll cross them, especially start getting in the evening. You'll see alligators laying up out there. You'll see running those canals. You'll see those big cane poles, and where they're fishing for alligators there.
Well,
but Venice is just a unique place to be.
As long as we see them from a safe distance, I'm fine.
Oh, negative Nancy. He's nervous.
Thank you.
But that ain't no place for a rookie to be.
Exactly, and I'm below a rookie. I'm like 3 or 4 steps below a rookie. So
there's every year guys go out there and duck hunters. They'll go down there and get killed, man. Yeah. They'll load their boat and they think, well, water, the wind's fine, this all looks good, and then they get out there and they hit that Mississippi River. Mm-hmm. Son, that's a monster. That's a beast.
Yeah. Yep.
That ain't nothing to drown in.
There ain't no way I'd teal hunt out there early teal season with those gators and shit. I definitely wouldn't take a dog.
So you're saying that you don't want to be in the water there? Is that what you're telling me?
I'll look at a gator from like 50 feet away.
Well, I got news for you. Some of the stuff we're doing, you're going to be in the water, so just prepare for that.
Great.
You know how they'll find them teal. You know, 'cause, you know, that grass is growing everywhere out there, but then it'll make a pond out there. Sometimes they'll have big pieces of plywood on that boat, and they'll throw a piece of plywood out, and that's what you stand on in them reeds to keep you from burying up in the mud and silt.
They figured it out.
They have, man. Them guys, coon asses are killers. I'm gonna tell you what. Let me ask this: guys from South Carolina, them some killing SOBs, ain't they?
South Carolina?
We get guys from South Carolina, they're killers. Guys from Georgia are killers.
Yeah, they're outdoorsmen for sure.
They are. I mean, because they're on that East Coast. They struggle. I mean, you know, they're out there killing blackjacks and wood ducks and everything. They're struggling for a good bird to kill, and then they get over there, son, and they show out.
Yeah,
that's just Cajuns. I mean, they're killers.
Yeah,
but they want all them Cajuns want their birds picked.
Yep, they do. They want everything picked and all of them eat for sure.
Yep.
Well, listen, this has been a lot of fun. I appreciate you taking the time out. It's been an hour and a half, and I know you're at work. And thank you for sitting down with us and having a conversation. It's been a lot of fun. Enjoy the off season because hunting season will be here before we know
it. Yeah, you guys get in touch with some guys you're going to fish with down there, and I appreciate you reaching out to us. Can I throw our phone number out there?
Can. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Dusty Barber does all of our booking, and if you'll call 903-880-8948, you get to come hunting with us. You get to eat some swordfish, maybe some fillet mignons there in the afternoons, and have a drink with me. And guys, I wish the three of us could get to hunt together. We're always doing something else, but maybe we can do us a fishing trip.
That would be nice. We're fixing to go here and have us some lunch. We're going to have some possum and some nutria for lunch.
Thank you very much,
Stacey. I really enjoyed visiting with you.
I enjoyed it, man. Thank you very much.
You have a great day, and God bless you, my friend.
Bye-bye.
Stacey Coker, great guy.
Real good guy. Killer
for real.
Killer for real. All right. Well, let's get out of here because I got to go get the meat.
God bless y'all. Y'all have a great week. Check us out on Patreon. Be having some calls from Pacific Calls on there. We'll be doing a giveaway starting again next week on that. So check us out. Patreon Calls, the Big Honker Podcast, behind the scenes. We've got 5 videos, a 6th video coming out today. Three per week. Anyways, thank y'all. God bless y'all. Have a great week.
Check out all of our sponsors. Go check out Pacific Calls, Dive Bomb Industries, Boss Shot Shells, Lucky Duck, Dirty Duck Coffee, Ducks Unlimited, Shin Gear, Looking Glass Podcast, Mossberg, Stanfield Outfitters, and Alpha Outdoor Specialties.